Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to Tales of Berseria.
Welcome back to the Seagate Fortress.
Yeah.
At Vortigern.
Yeah. Watch out. This is where they store all of the hard drives.
Welcome back to...
That's a joke for computer builders.
Not for me. Ah, yes, legendary hard drive manufacturer Vortigern.
Seagate, but yeah. Okay. That's a good one though.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't remember getting this far, if I'm being honest.
That's fine. I remember getting this far. You know what else I remember? My job was to yell about sparklies, so I
feel like I've seen a lot of your crew with swords.
Okay.
Do you really never use them yourself?
No, not with the Reaper's curse, I don't. It likes to rear its head at the worst times. I've broken blades just by unsheathing them, and once, just as I was about to deliver a finishing blow, my blade separated from the hilt and went flying. That sort of thing. A sword isn't something I can rely upon when my life is at stake. I fight using only my own body. That's one less thing that can go wrong.
It's too bad you're not a swordsman. I bet we could have had a hell of a fight.
I wouldn't need a sword to make it interesting. What do you say? Want to try your sword against my curse?
Sure, if the right time comes. Just don't whine when I end up winning.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, a conversation between two people who won't be in the final party.
Well, here's where the real show starts. Do we have a plan, First Mate?
The fortress guards are almost all ordinary soldiers. Just a handful of exorcists to deal with.
They went to the trouble to build this huge gate. You'd think they'd keep it better defended.
You don't need an army of exorcists to keep a bunch of disorganized pirates under control, do you?
As long as they're fighting ordinary humans, the Royal Army would suffice.
So a few exorcists as officers is all they need.
It was built as a symbol of the Empire. But it seems Artorias is the one really giving the orders. The Abbey directs security and defense, and Imperial soldiers are under exorcist command.
We aim for the exorcists then. The harder they are, the more fun it'll be.
Ready to bust some heads?
I'd rather cut them, actually.
Like, it's not that I dislike either of those characters. It's just that their battle style is not something I care about.
Fair enough.
Is this the door we came in, or is this
a trap door? Wait.
I feel like this is the door we came in. It is.
Oh, okay.
I suspected that was the case. Anywhoozle, we're done getting. If you want to talk
goodness.
If you want to talk about your week, now would be the time, probably.
I can do that. I did much playing of Sea of Stars.
I noticed you have one more achievement than me because I did not bother to get the cooking achievement.
It's the worst achievement by far.
The cooking one?
No, cooking one's fine.
Yeah, the hidden one?
Yeah.
I looked it up. I don't have the cooking achievement.
Oh.
Because I didn't bother to get it. Because I was like, I'll go back to the game to get the beat 10 bosses with the fucking
that one
hyper mode on.
Your style is really unique.
Just wait until I pull out the good stuff.
I'll get to it eventually, you know?
It's an awful achievement. Why do I have to play through like 14, 15 bosses to get the kill 10 bosses?
But hey, just turn on all of the other things.
That's yeah, it makes it bearable. I'm not done yet because I read somewhere that you can do additional new game pluses and the count will carry over.
Oh really? Because I'd read that you just need to get the leaf boss.
Yeah, I'm so in one save I'm at second. Spoilers for Sea of Stars, if you care. There's not much of a plot.
Leaf boss. It's not much.
Yeah, but the boss I'm at's a bit of a spoiler.
Boss. Gotcha.
Which is to say the second dweller.
Okay.
I'm outside of that dungeon. But if I New Game Plus again, then I would, in theory, only have to go to Elder Mist, which seems way easier than going through Dweller, which apparently doesn't
Another
count,
victory.
or does count, and I'm only at 8. And then also all the way through to Leaf Boss. That dungeon just isn't fun to go through. The mountain dungeon. So I'm willing to risk. Well, it's not really a risk because there's, I can just put that save in another save slot. But to spend the time, it would be less time if it works to just New Game Plus a second time, based off of the existing New Game Plus save, and then just go up through Elder Mist. So I'm gonna try that after we're done here. Just because I don't feel like going through the second Dweller fight. Even if that was probably one of the cooler moments in the game.
The set piece fights, fun.
Yeah.
The battle system, I feel like, was
Basic.
designed for the long set piece fights.
Yes, it's very basic
And
otherwise.
It's really fun in those. Yeah, you're right. It just gets a little bit.
I actually think the game was designed around the relic that we're talking about. Just because, like, there's no depth to the battle system, like, at all.
Sorry to
Man,
get you
once you get Garl's ultimate, there's no reason to use any other character's ultimate.
That's also true.
It's not that I think the battle system is like. I think you get over leveled too easily in that game.
Oh, really?
That's how I feel.
'Cause
I feel like the more challenging fights, the longer fights, were the better fights in the game.
Oh yeah, all the optional endgame fights were great.
Yeah, well, Elder Mist 2 was not great.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, it's
All
just
the
a
other ones were
retread.
good.
It's just a redo of his original fight. All the other fights
I
are
like
great.
having character choices. I like having strategy choices with what characters you have in. So, I wasn't a huge fan of Elder Mist 2, where it's restricted.
There's that, but I mean, that's the thing about the battle system, though. It's like, since you can freely swap in characters, there is no strategy choices.
Because of how hard it is to get SP back, there is decision on like how you're gonna burn it, who you're gonna burn it on, what are you gonna do with your turns.
Oh, yeah, maybe I mean, yeah, I guess. Basically, I just went, all right, the only character who gets to spend SP is what's her name? I can remember every character's name except for the two main characters.
Like that.
Oh man, I can remember one character's name.
You already
It's
said
Carl.
it. Yeah.
Because his name, I just saw his name and I was like, interesting choice for the name of a character. The secret final boss of Final Fantasy 1, a 35-year-old video game.
Oh, Garl.
Yeah, he's just Garland, but Garl.
Yeah, all right. No, yeah, I can remember Garl. I can remember Sarai. Sarai, great character. I can remember Beast, because it's weird.
I think it's just pronounced Beast.
Is it? I mean, something makes a pun on that, so you might be right.
Well, his ultimate is Altered Beast.
There it is. That's the thing.
It's like, okay, so that tells me how to pronounce it.
You would think, but apostrophes like that typically denote pauses.
Looks like
to my
you want-
understanding.
I don't disagree, but to me, it's just like, okay, this apostrophe means pronounce the letter.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And then, of course, okay, I might actually not be able to remember the alchemist's name either.
Who wants some?
He was a character that didn't make sense to me in terms of like when you get him and then how long he's in the game.
Another victory.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. But I just cannot remember the names of the main characters.
I had a lot of fun with the game, and then it just ended, and that was annoying.
Oh?
The ending. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I'll cut down anyone in my way.
Just a really poor ending.
I mean, so that's the thing, right? Like, the game had a plot, but it didn't have a story. It just had things that happened.
I would say it had a story up until Act 3. And then it became things that happen. Or I guess the end of Act 2.
That's also fair. It did look like it was having stuff going on for a while.
It makes like it's a fine little game about three friends going on adventure and their differences, and then they get themselves wrapped up in this, and then like a twist happens, but they're still going at it.
Yeah.
And then there's like the end of Act 2, and then I guess there's like a interlude before the start of Act 3, and that's all the stuff after Strife.
Yeah.
Where it just feels it literally is stuff's just happening.
Yeah.
But like I liked the thing for me, I really liked the story of the three friends going on an adventure.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fine little tale they were telling.
I just wish that they had motivations beyond the main one.
It takes forever for them to get that, which I think is like the end act one twist. Trying not to spoil the game because it is
Unarmed? Hardly.
Yeah.
These are deadly weapons.
new. And it's like I felt like as we're going to the plateau, as we're going through the fish people land, going to the plateau, I was still like invested enough. I was like, this is fine. This is nothing special in terms of what's happening with the story, but it's fine. I think it's a good escalation to we're on an adventure and now something major has happened and we need to be responsible. But for a game that has a lot of the elements that I always love in games, I mostly don't think about it anymore.
Don't waste my time.
It was good.
Yeah, I
And then
mean, the game is like one of the prettiest pixel art games I've ever seen, and the music's amazing.
So part of my consternation about that is I had very recently played Chained Echoes.
Yeah?
And I think the sprite work in Chained Echoes is a lot better.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe I'll get there.
Take your time. There's no reason to rush it, but
Oh no, of course.
it's
Not.
the direct comparison for me is I just, like I said, I really like the sprite work in Chained Echoes compared to Sea of Stars. I think Sea of Stars is actively harmed by attempting to be a sequel to a game it has nothing to do with.
It won't open.
Or prequel.
It's locked.
That's a real
Rather.
thick door.
That's my guess.
That window would probably work if it wasn't all.
Sea of Stars
like
is
standalone
a
building.
prequel to
Maybe
The
we can
Messenger.
find something on one of the other walls.
Oh. I didn't realize they were trying to connect them beyond them both existing in the same
I
universe.
didn't either. And when I say prequel, I mean like a dramatically, like it's more a game set earlier in the timeline than anything to do with the story. But like the reason why there's no resolution with some of the like the final boss stuff that I felt really bummed out about is because that's all resolved in the Messenger. So it needs to be resolved here, and I thought that was a huge bummer.
That makes sense and also is unfortunate. Yep.
Come back here. God, this Snake Man is just—he's wily.
You won't get any
Yeah, but the
Slytherin.
reason why in the non-true ending the game just ends with fighting what feels like should be one of 3 bosses. And the reason why the true ending ends with the final boss just leaving. You're not actually beating him, just him just being like, oh, goodbye.
Let's split up and look for the
Is
key.
because that apparently is all stuff
We'll
that's done in the
search the other
messenger.
room.
And like why Strife doesn't show up again, why the acolytes don't show up again, it's because those are in the messenger.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge bummer when this game that I was already
Found it.
not super invested in the story, but like the character interactions well enough, just throws away any resolution to its greater plot. I was just like,
Don't get so worked
Well,
up.
sour
over a
taste in
little
my mouth,
thing
you
like
know?
that. It's proof you're alive.
Yeah, for sure. No, like,
The
no,
bump
the game definitely
No.
kind of
I'm talking about the pain.
went nowhere. As you said.
But I'm
Um,
scared of pain.
Well, kid, who isn't?
Even you?
Anyway, boys sure are fascinated by the weirdest things.
Fascinated?
You like this, right?
ooh, a compass.
I don't really know. But after I saw one in a book, I got a little curious about it. And I felt,
You felt excited, didn't you?
yeah. I guess so. Do you know why the needle points north? Who figured out how to make it work? I thought that if I had one of these, maybe I could go on adventures. It's exciting.
When you feel that way, you should talk about it. About what you like and dislike, if you're happy or scared. After all, you're alive.
I'm alive.
That's just my opinion, though. Not an order. Got that?
Understood.
You found it? Now we can get that gate open.
We needed a compass too. Nice work.
Thank you.
Now to take care of that ship.
Right. To the docks.
That's where we came from. Shiny.
but yeah, all of that aside, you know, obviously I like the game enough if I'm going for the
promise
last
I won't
achievement,
get mad
despite
if you talk.
hating
Okay.
it.
I would still mostly recommend the game. Just know that you're not gonna get a resolution to like end plot details,
Yeah, don't play it for the story. Which is really
unfortunate, 'cause
unfortunate
again,
to say.
But when I was just Act 1, I was enjoying the story, and I was like, I've heard people say the story isn't good, and I'm enjoying it so far. I get it now.
What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
My compass fell on my head and gave me a bump.
Let me take a look. Oh, wow, yeah, that's a big one. Bet that must hurt.
Yeah, but at least I'm still alive.
Are you saying that pain is proof that you're really alive?
That's
What's the
what
difference
Velvet told
between
me.
things healing magic can heal and healing magic can't heal?
Well, no worry. I'll just
If you heal
push
the
your
bump-
bump back down, you'll be good as new.
Wait, what?
I'm
stitch
just
a
messing
wound.
with you. Don't sweat it.
Stop fooling around, you
I feel
two.
like you should be able to heal
We
a
have
bump.
to hurry. Once we get back to the ship, just borrow some sugar and rub it on your bump. It'll make the swelling go down.
Oh, okay.
I like these early interactions with Velvet in number 2.
There are so many of them.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
You're awfully
these.
fond of that,
That's
aren't
why I
you?
didn't go for the door right
Still,
away.
You should keep it in your bag for now.
I'll put it in my bag.
Good. You know,
There's an
that's a nice
achievement for
bag.
seeing every
Made to
single one of
last.
them.
It's
Oh,
more
there
of
always
silk.
is.
I've
Yeah,
never heard
and
of
it's
Lauret
the one
silk.
you never get.
It's a fine fabric woven from the threads of the Dandurantula spider. It's
Dan
got a
Tarantula.
delicate sheen, it's soft as a baby's skin, it's light and stretchable, it breathes, and it's quite durable. But that's not all. Its most fantastic quality is how it absorbs impact.
My, but you're quite the scholar.
Knowledge and experience help you sniff out the best treasure. If you go and stuff every single scrap of plunder you find into your ship, she'll keel over.
That does make sense.
What I'm getting at is, your bag is the best place for you to keep that compass stored.
Keep that thing safe. We need it. All right?
All right.
Are we free? Oh my god, we're free.
Wait a few seconds. We might be free. Wait, just wait for the.
Oh, I was waiting for it to show up once I opened the door.
Exactly. Yeah. Just wait for it to flash right as you've opened the door, and now it's gone forever. Yeah. You know, just Tails things.
Tails. They got better at that. It's not that bad anymore. Interesting, man.
On to battle.
It's...
Oh yeah, that's not the only thing I did. I went on a little bit of an adventure.
Not even worth my
Thorn
time.
sent me a video about someone like analyzing or like doing a retrospective on Adventure Quest.
Sure.
Do you remember Adventure Quest?
I'm familiar with Adventure Quest. Not
All right.
intimately familiar with it.
Yeah, so apparently you can still play it. I say apparently. Turns out you can still play it. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can get back into my account. And that was an adventure on its own. Because the first step was, okay, what email did I even use? Right?
Sure.
And after trying a few and finding one that was a red herring because it had 0 characters, I finally go, oh wait, that super old email that I don't use anymore. That's got to be the one. So I try to log into it because, you know, you have to be able to access the email address to get the password reset.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't sign into the email. It's so old and went unused that it had, you know, been involved in a data breach.
Yeah.
And so every time I tried to log into it, it was like, you got to reset your password. And I was like, okay, I'll reset my password. And then it would go, actually, we can't reset your password. We don't have enough information to reset your password. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Turns out it's because I didn't have any recovery address, like any recovery information set. So
Sure.
effectively, I'm locked out of that email. Okay, well, I'll just contact their support. Oh, okay, so it's an SBC global domain, which is no longer a thing, right? Okay,
Yeah.
who owns it? Because the email address still exists. It's not Yahoo anymore. It's AT&T. Okay, cool. Got to figure that part out. Now that I figured that out, do they do support for these addresses? Oh, yes, they do. Not very good support for this particular error. All right, I'll have better luck talking to Arctic's support, the company that does Adventure Quest. So I go through them, and luckily I am able to answer the questions they have for me. I was able to get back into the account. Woohoo! So I've messed around with that a few times, just to, you know, just to re-experience that. Turns out the game's been around for a while. It tells you the last time you logged in on the account details.
I'll end this quickly.
You want to guess the year? The last time I logged into it?
I genuinely have no clue.
That's okay. Apparently 2006. It has been a little while. So yeah, just that was a journey to recover that. But yeah, it was done up in Flash, so you'd think, like, well, how's that
I
work?
wish I had power like that.
but you know, apparently their launcher
There'll be rust on my blade.
handles all of the containering, however you want to call it, that lets Splash run and do all the things it needs to do. Which, unfortunately,
They were nothing.
the load times come with that. So the load times are exactly as you remember them. It's still taking multiple seconds for something that I could have loaded entirely into RAM. The entire game could be in RAM. But nope. We have to load things.
Sure, I had to do that. I'm excited to find out why.
Turns out it's blocked your path to a treasure chest.
So much plain vapor.
Gotta love that kind of game, right? Mostly it's in games where you can reset it, but just like
Yeah.
games that are like, oh, you push the exactly like this. Oh, you push the boulder. That path is locked forever now.
Yes. I've been denied this treasure. When I did my Final Fantasy VI all achievements playthrough and had to use a chest guide, 'cause it's like, yeah, if you walk through this door that's right here and not through this hatch that's like tucked over to the side, you can never come back to this location.
Ah, stuff like that. Yep. Gotta love missables. They're
I wasn't
great,
sure
aren't
if
they?
State Stars was going to do that.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to do that. Like there was a couple chests that really threw me for a loop. Because one particular chest in the Necromancer area looked like it was in the zone that you can only go through one time because the enemies don't respawn and you have to hookshot one of them. But luckily it wasn't there. They're actually good about that. There are no missables aside from the achievement that I'm doing, which isn't even missable. Got progress carries over to New Game Plus.
Victory is ours.
But you can, you literally, the only way to get it without New Game Plusing is to equip it as soon as you get it and never take it off for the bosses. There are only 10 bosses, assuming you get it as early as possible. There are only exactly 10 bosses left in the game, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Come on, really?
So here we are. Yep, going through.
How do you plan to stop the battleship?
Some
It's
people have said it
equipped
takes
with
5
large
hours
The plan is to use their
But-
gunpowder against them.
to go through and get the 10 bosses,
Ah, gotcha.
and it's taking me
finish
longer
this
than that.
quick.
And I don't know why. I spent all of yesterday just going through the game again.
Your style is really unique.
Just wait until I pull out.
Either way, that's enough about Sea of Stars.
There'll be rust on my
It's a
blade.
good time.
I've also put in a tremendous amount of time into which it's 5e.
Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
I've never played. I never played the
I
old
won't
Baldur's Gate
improve
games,
by
or
fighting
Neverwinter Nights, or any of the old
And you
Sword
might not
Coast.
want to.
RPGs. I probably won't because they're 2e. And
Yes, exactly.
2e is
AD&D.
an enigma locked behind a block in my brain.
Listen, it's fine. All you need to know is the Thaco chart,
Yeah, exactly. I know about Thaco, and therefore I don't
and
need to play the
therefore
game.
you do not need to play the game. Yeah.
There are quite a few small tweaks in Baldur's Gate 3
We're finished.
to
here.
5e
Let's go.
Yes, I've heard of this.
to make it a video game that's
Yep.
not agony to play.
Yep.
Bonus
It's
action economy is very different.
yeah. That's an interesting thing to talk about
An
because
exorcist praetor?
The
in
docks are
tabletop
up
you can
ahead.
just
Like it or not,
hand
we're
wave.
coming through.
right.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Are you
But
intruders?
in a video game
I
with
suppose
rules,
it doesn't matter.
you can,
I will cut down
it doesn't
any
work
who
that way.
consort with demons.
Well,
Face the fury of the
it
Rangetsu
also-
sword style.
compensates for the fact
Stand
that it's
aside,
inflexible
Isaac.
in other ways
No,
Yeah.
you
By being
stay
a video
back.
game.
I'll take care of this one.
by making it more
Sorry.
flexible in
This prey
Yeah.
is mine.
like bonus action economy.
Get in my way and I'll kill you.
Actually, wasn't
too.
positive that I didn't have to play him.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Are you mocking the Reaper?
Stand aside, and then they all fight. I'm sure there'll be a cutscene after the fight's over, showing how it really went down.
See, this guy's problem isn't that he's fighting 4 people. This guy's problem is that he summoned ads, and that meant I get to use burst a lot. Burst is very strong.
We're running out of time. You folks handle the ship.
Careful, Rokuro. He's...
I know. He's holding back.
Let's go.
I know, he learned his lessons. He's gonna 1v1 us now.
Where did you learn the Rangetsu style?
I studied directly under the Legate Shigure of the Abbey.
Lies. He'd never take on a student. Let me guess. He taught you a few things one time when he was super bored, and then crushed you with them.